if we look at the circumstances behind, there is abuse of authority. There is denial of due process. Why? We were not given the opportunity to react on the written manifestation. More so, to emphasize, no? Since October 5 and maybe until January 2023, hindi sila nakaupo. Hindi sila nakaupo. Diniprive yung people of Bonifacio ng services nila. Isang bisis lang sila nakaupo. That was on May 29, pero sinipa din sila. Pansin ko, kuyog system ito eh. SP belongs to the governor, tama niya yung mga sanggunian. No justice there. We will prove there that there is really non-observance of due process.
Natanong ko ba, yung about dalawang suspension order, tapos yung pangatlo, hindi ba magiging mutual academic yun dahil nga related doon sa dalawa?
Supposedly, sir. Sabihin natin na yung two administrative complaint are the roots. Di ba? Yeah. So to speak. At saka yung third administrative complaint is the tree. If you remove the roots, then the tree will fall down.
Matanong ko si Mayor. Mayor, meron na ba hong final na kaso para makarating sa husgado tungkol doon sa sinasabi niyong sinaktan kayo?
Mayroon na kami, Senator, doon sa CA.
Sa
Senator,
piskal, kasi kung special laws or revised penal.
So I will let my daughter to speak to answer that, Your Honor, because she knows everything about the law of the case.
Mina-file na po ba ang kaso sa prosecutor's office o sa anumang husgado tungkol dun sa insidenteng yon?
Good morning, Senator. Ang sa amin, ang na-file pa namin is administrative case against Governor Oaminal and down to the provincial board members. Ang tungkol sa basagan ng nangyari noong June 16, actually, yung father ko pa ang na-filean nila ng kaso. And the arresting officer is Major Sumagang.
So bakit po kung talagang naargabyado kayo, bakit po wala pa kayong fina-file na kaso?
We are on the process kasi it's a very serious matter. Kailangan yun.
Physical injuries, kung ano man.
Actually, serious illegal detention yun eh.
Wala pa.
Wala pa, but we're already preparing it.
I'm not suggesting that you file cases, pero kung ganon kagrabe talaga yung sitwasyon, siguro
hindi kami binigyan ng mga names. How nagpadala kami ng sulat sa PDRRMO, sa Human Resource yata.
Po, sa fiscal naman makakapunta kayo, di ba?
Ang documents namin, Senator ba? Hindi kami binibigyan.
But you can use as evidence kung sinasabi nyo kanina, yung video, yung mga testimony ng mga witnesses ninyo.
Hindi namin ma-filean kasi nakatakip yung mga mukha nila eh.
John, ito siguro yun. Kasi si Senator De La Rosa, investigador din ito. Ako, kunyari lang investigador. Traffic enforcer lang ako. Pero sa ganitong pagkakataon, hindi po itong committing ito ang proper forum para doon sa criminal cases. So,
yes.
Wala kayong administrative case pa sa DILG? Wala pa ho.
Ano ibig sabihin mo? Sa OP pa, sa OP.
Hindi, yung pangatlong kaso.
Yung sa pangatlong kaso, nag-file kami ng sa CA, Court of Appeals.
Nag-issue ang Court of Appeals.
Yun nga eh, wala. Parang naging academic na yun kasi nagpalabas na naman sila ng penalty suspension order. At saka, yun nga ang question talaga, Senator. Mayroon kasi kaming June 4 na face-off na nangyari doon. Nandun din si PD Benitez. Sinabi ni PD Benitez ng DILG na sabi niya na it's a unique case daw yung ni-raise namin kasi wala daw pwedeng mabasihan ang DILG. Kasi yung case, na third case na sinasabi na betrayal of public trust na actually at first question namin yan paano naging betrayal of public trust that the mayor and the vice mayor are not impeachable officers, and that ang rason nila doon kasi usurpation of authorities na nag-duty yung parents ko last December 12 and 13 and 14 yata yun. But reverse na yun ang Office of the President. So, kaya nga, supposedly, kung ano sila, kung impartial sila, they drop the case right away. But, nakatanggap kami ng OP decision ng May 24 na pinaalam namin sa kanila ng May 26, noong May 29 bumalik na, reinstated na yung parents ko. Ng gabi, May 29 ng gabi, nakatanggap yung lawyer namin ng manifestation sa lawyer ng complainant. Kinabukasan, 7:30 in the morning, May 30, nandoon na si Attorney Arif Aquino, nag-serve na ng preventive suspension. So, kung tingnan mo, it's very pattern. Ayaw talagang puin ulit yung parents ko.
Mayor, ang basihan ko lang ng tanong ko kanina, kasi ni-recognize ni DILG yung pangatlong preventive suspension na inaamin nila, which is based on the principle of alter ego na sinabi, inexplain ni Attorney Alday, parang ni-recognize din ng Office of the President. So ngayon, Mr. Chairman, marami hong questions of law dito yung factual, siguro more or less dun sa implementation, nakita natin, pero yung due process na sinimulan ko nung unang araw ng hearing, dahil sa recognition ng DILG, medyo nasa gray area tayo. Siguro, ang magiging doon sa lahat ng allegations ninyo at sagot naman ni Governor, husgado po yun. Husgado po yun. So this committee, Mr. Chair, though a fact-finding body would probably be not, with all due respect, not in a position to adjudicate the physical injuries, serious illegal detention claims, as well as the legality of the DILG's recognition. Yun na nakikita ko, Mr. Chairman. Pero tama yung ginagawa ngayon kasi nabiventilate nyo lahat ito in a public forum at marami nakakaalam. But let us refrain from kagaya ng sinabi ni Chairman na maging batuhan ito, na maging bintangan ito. Another body would decide eventually the merits of the seriousness and the legality of the accusations heard here. Yun lamang po, Mr. Chairman. At ako po binulong ko na sa inyo kung ano yung dahilan kung bakit ako lalabas uli sandali, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, thank you, Senator Tolentino. But before you leave, I just would like to settle this lingering question in my mind. I am not a lawyer, pero anybody, the lawyer of the Lumanogs or the lawyer of the Oaminals or the provincial government or anybody can react. Just a basic question. I'm sure this is a basic question of law. Yung dalawang suspension order was reversed by Malacanang. Itong pangatlong suspension order which was implemented that resulted to this investigation ay konektado doon sa dalawang suspension order na na-reverse na Malacanang. Dahil nga, huwag na tayong mag-focus doon sa title ng case, whether or not mag-argue tayo kung it is betrayal of public trust or not. Doon na tayo mag-focus sa body of the allegation na sinasabing nag-assume sila as mayor and vice mayor respectively kahit na under preventive suspension. So yun ang basis ng pangatlong suspension order, right? Right?
Penalty suspension.
Okay.
Penalty.
So yun ang basis sa pangatlo.
Yes, Mr.
So
Chair.
ito basic question lang. I'm not a lawyer. That's why I am asking you here. Para marami ring nanonood sa atin ngayon na hindi lawyer na gusto ring maliwanagan. Kung ako, isipin ko na since reverse na itong dalawang suspension order na nagiging basis nitong third suspension order, hindi pa does the situation render the third suspension order moot and academic? Dahil nga, nag-uugat ito doon sa pag-assume nila na illegal assumption ko, no, unauthorized assumption dahil suspendido sila. So, na-reverse itong dalawang suspension order, itong pangatlo ngayon, hindi ba magiging moot and academic? Ikaw ang lawyer, alam kong ikaw ang magaling na lawyer dito. Please,
siguro si DILG explain different grounds ba yung third suspension? Kayo yung may hawak na, wala akong hawak ng papel, yung hinihila na naman.
Give me a moment, Your Honor. Let me check your Mr. Chair.
So,
hindi nga to
siguro,
different grounds. Hindi nga different grounds.
kasi si DILG nirecognize nila. Inamin ni DILG may existing recognition of the third suspension order, and as an alter ego of the President, it is
Different ground po daw, Your Honor. Usurpation.
different ground.
Opo.
So hindi related dun sa related pero ibang basis.
Usurpation
ng
because
suspension.
they are not letting the acting mayor and acting vice mayor to sit.
Assume.
Opo, to assume.
So different grounds.
Mr.
But
Chair.
all of these are subject to proof. Di ba? Yes. Address.
Mr. Chair.
Our lawyer.
Yes,
Bollozos.
Attorney Bollozos.
If I may be recognized, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, the Honorable DILG, with all due respect, is actually confused. From the start, when Senator Tolentino was asking if the preventive suspension were reversed by the Office of the President, it was not the preventive suspension that was reversed by the Office of the President on the two previous cases, but the penalty of suspension. And in this case, the third case, the third administrative case, actually stemmed from the resumption of office of Mayor and Vice Mayor Gumanjug on December 12, 13, and 14. So this is actually interconnected with the two previous cases. And Mr. Chair, on your question, if the exoneration of mayor and vice mayor on the two previous administrative cases rendered the issue on the third administrative case moot and academic, it is in our opinion that it is already moot and academic. And the Sangguniang Panlalawigan should have dismissed the same, which we actually moved for that, and they still denied it. And in additional, Mr. Chair, one last thing. If there was a complainant in the resumption of office of the mayor and vice mayor, it should not be the complainants in this third case, which is the acting mayor and acting vice mayor, because Mayor and Vice Mayor Gumanjug allegedly did not follow the orders of the Sanggunian. So it should be the Sanggunian who should be the complainant in that case by filing a case for contempt. That would be all.
Thank you, Attorney.
Mr. Chair.
Can you respond? Sinong legal dyan sa Sangguniang Panlalawigan?
Mr. Chair, the Governor would like to make a response on that, Mr. Chair. Because it is by order that has been
Okay, you can respond, Governor. Go ahead.
first of all, Mr. Chair, the good Senator Tolentino had made a very good presentation that these are issues which should be brought by the competent authority, which is the court or the office of the president. This issue of the preventive suspension, the party brought it before the Court of Appeals. The question of preventive suspension on the third case on certiorari. That is why it's still pending with the Court of Appeals. Hindi sila nakakuha ng TRO. That's why, as a lawyer, I would even see that it is sub judice to be discussing that issue because it is pending in court, which is the
Governor, I just would like to, for purposes of discussion, it was well settled by the Supreme Court na yung sub judice rule does not apply to any congressional investigation. So,
I'll stand corrected, Your Honor,
Yes.
if that is the current
I would like to
place.
correct you on that.
Yeah,
It
because
was
when I
ruled
was-
by the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Sub judice rule does not apply to any congressional inquiry.
Yeah, because
Thank
when I
you.
was congressman,
Thank you.
was brought also, and that was the ruling at the time before probably the Supreme Court had made the decision.
Thank you.
But
Thank
that's
you,
not
Governor.
connected with that, Your Honor. But with that as it may, as I said, they have availed the remedy by questioning the order before the Court of Appeals. So that as opened by the DILG, since there is no TRO, then the presumption of the regularity of the order issued by the Sanggunian as implemented by the governor is in order.
Yes, in order, no, Governor. Alam mo natin yan, in order yan. Yung tanong ko lang, as I've said, I'll state it again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just representing the people watching us live right now na nagtatanong. Ito yung tanong nila, which I presented earlier. Nag-CR ka lang, hindi mo ata narinig yung aking present. Ibalikin ko, Governor. Ganito. Basic tanong, basic question siguro ng ordinaryong tao ito. There were 3 suspension orders. Yung 2 suspension order na-reverse ng Office of the President. Ngayon, ito pangatlo, hindi na-reverse. Hindi ito covered ng reversal. But related ito sa 2 dahil nga yung body of the yung allegation is that sila ay pati yung ruling ng Sangguniang Panlalawigan, sila ay nag-assume na hindi dapat mag-assume. So, anong term yung sinabi nyo, lawyer? Usurpation of authority. Dahil suspendido sila, covered by suspension, pero nag-assume sila, bumalik sila as mayor and vice mayor. Dahil covered sila nitong suspension order. Ngayon, na-reverse na ito ng Office of the President, ang tanong lang na ordinaryong tao, hindi ba ito pangatlo na related dito ay rendered moot and academic na? I'm not a lawyer. You are a lawyer. Please elucidate that to me.
Your Honor, thank you very much. Even for the sake of argument that was reversed, although there is still that motion for reconsideration filed by the private offended parties, by the private complainant in that case, filed before the Office of the President. But with that as it may, Your Honor, the Sangguniang, the governors and even the acting mayor at the time when they assumed on May 29, even with the absence of the official copy, because at the time, the Office of the Governor, the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, has not yet received the official copy nor an implementing order from the DILG. But they were honored. No? Hindi, nag-give way yung acting mayor.
So ano
They
dapat?
were able to assume.
Ano dapat ang gagawin kung natanggap na ng Sanggunian yung reversal order coming from Malacanang? Anong dapat sunod na mangyayari?
That's why, Your Honor, contrary to the allegation of in the presentation of suspended mayor, that hindi sinunod ni Governor, even if we did not receive the copy, we did not interpose any objection and their assumption, Your Honor, on that May 29. And then going back to the issue, Your Honor, na nagiging moot and academic, we have that principle of law, Your Honor, whether the performance of the public officer is de jure or de facto. At the time when they committed the offense, Your Honor, of usurpation of public functions, the order was enforced. It was not yet reversed. The acts of the acting mayor is recognized by law. That's why when he signed all those documents, that is being sanctioned and authorized by law. So even if it is now reversed,
What about wala bang retroactive effect ito? Itong decision na ito? Dahil nga, in favor of the accused, in favor of the respondent, yung retroactive effect, di ba, ma-enjoy dapat ito ng respondent?
Your Honor.
Again, I'm not a lawyer. Please, explain that to me.
But as I said,
Yes.
the position of the provincial government that now that the order was reversed, but at the time when they committed the act, the order stayed. And if it is reversed, it might be considered as a de facto. They were performing on a de facto because it was reversed. So that whether it's de facto or de jure, Your Honor, then at the time they committed the offense, then this should be answerable, because at the time when they assume the order of penalty of suspension is still in effect.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you for that explanation. You want to react?
Mr. Chair, no,
Yeah. You.
why they see Judge Bollozos now?
Yes.
Proceed.
Good. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Pimentel. Thank you, Your Honor, for joining us. You want to react? Yes, go ahead.
Good morning, Honorable Chairman, Senator Bato.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Honorable Senator Hercito. And good morning to our esteemed Senator from Cagayan de Oro, Senator Coco Pimentel. At magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Pumunta talaga yan dito ha, dahil alam niya, Region 10 ito na problema.
And I'm from
Hindi
Cagayan de Oro.
hindi siya mapapahinga na hindi niya pakialaman yung problema ng Region 10. He is your constituent.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
And also, I'm a native of Cagayan de Oro. Okay. Nung narinig ko ang mga salita ng mga different resource persons yesterday, there are some misconceptions of facts and circumstances. That's why my role this morning is to enlighten and to clear issues. Okay. It is true that there were 2 administrative cases filed against the mayor and the vice mayor under 0122, which is abuse of authority, because the mayor failed, Mayor Samson failed to let barangay captains to attend a seminar. That's true. Okay. Second is that in admin number 0-22, there is no graft and corruption case contrary to the allegation of the other camp. It was abuse of authority, dishonesty, and misconduct. Why? Because the mayor purchased a garbage truck and an excavator after the bids and award committee approved it. And it was claimed by the complainants that the excavator is second-hand because the garbage truck was found by the SP to be new. Okay. Unfortunately, the prohibited period of election ban and then the evidence is insufficient. Both respondents were convicted. Our law office entered into the picture only when the Dumanhog came to us and seek our assistance to file an appeal and memorandum of appealant to the Malacanang. We are not from Misamis Occidental. Hindi namin alam kung anong nangyayari doon. So that when we review the records, we found that in 0122, there is no evidence because the barangay chairman rather, did not ask or send a letter requesting the good mayor that he will travel to attend a seminar. In the second case, we found that the evidence is insufficient. Why? Because the Commission on Audit did not intervene. There is no certification from the Commission on Audit. More so, the purchase was paid by the Land Bank of the Philippines. Being a former banker, I knew that the bank will not pay if all the documents are not genuine. Lastly, the suspension, the investigation was done during the prohibitory period on that SK election and barangay election supposedly to be held last year. So that is our arguments to the Malacanang. We give copies to the respondents on our appellant's memorandum. Nobody answered on it. Okay, my point is this, no? When the second case was filed, the Sanggunian issued a preventive suspension starting September 5 to October 4. October 5
to December 4.
To make it clear, the prohibitory period is from September 5 to October 5. That is the 90-day prohibitory election period. The Sanggunian then, Panlalawigan, issued a preventive suspension order dated October 5, 60 days, so that would end on December 4, 2022. I'm using the book of his good father, the DILC book. Okay. Then, when the 60-day preventive suspension is about to expire on December 4, the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, nagpalabas sila ng resolution convicting both respondents on a Saturday. And it was the resolution was dated Saturday. That is December 3. Okay. Pumunta sila sa office namin. Then, as I said earlier, the review namin, ang sabi namin na there are some loopholes. There are some issues that should be raised to the office of the President. Then, nagsabi sila, pwede ba kaming mag-resume? So, yes. That is our advice. Why? Because their decision was not implemented. It was only served under Section 69 of the rules. Well, under Section 59 of the rules, it says that it should be executed through the DILG or through the office of the governor. Saan yung document na in-implement ng governor yung suspension as a penalty? Wala. So sabi namin, punta kayo doon sa mag-assume kayo. Because there is no execution yet, because although the judgment, according to the local government code, is final and executory, there is that word executory that has to be completed. And what will complete that? Section 58 of the rules. Okay. So kaya pumunta sila. So they went there, December 12, si Mayor pumunta sa opisina, umupo lang. Ito namang si Vice Mayor, a very naive woman, pumasok doon sa legislative building, sa session, hall, nakita niya walang representative, umupo din siya doon. Kaya lang, niresist niya. No overt acts being done. Sa 13, balik sila, sabi ko balik kayo. Hinarangan na ni Sumagang. Hindi na sila pinalapit sa even on the municipal grounds. The same holds true, the same 14. Sabi ko, huwag na kayong bumalik because baka something will happen to you. Okay. Okay. Now, nang March 2013, nagulat kami. 23, nagulat kami bakit meron ng third administrative complaint that is betrayal of public trust. Okay. In a way, sinagot namin, we use some jurisprudence. If only the good Senator Tolentino, I even use his column in a certain newspaper that what is the meaning of betrayal of public trust? Anyway, okay. So ngayon, noong May 24, 2023, the Office of the President issued 2 decisions as read by the good mayor, exonerating them. On May 26, they received a hard copy of the decision. On May 27, they go to my office in Cagayan de Oro. But on May 26, I was able to attend the hearing of the third administrative complaint. Then before the proceeding started, Attorney Santiago of the counsel of the complainant manifested that they have difficulty of presenting 2 witnesses. Excuse me, I'm already 70 years old. Okay. Because according to them, they were harassed by the mayor and the vice mayor. So I counter-manifested by saying that if that is so, then put that into in writing so that we'll be given time also to react on it. Okay. As a matter of fact, I have a minute here where Attorney Hinji Estanio approve that the written manifestation should be submitted and we have time to react on it. Mostly, if we follow the rules of court suppletory, that will be 5 days. Okay. Then, as I've said earlier, sinabi ko kanina na May 27 pumunta si Mayor saka si Vice Mayor sa office namin sa Cagayan de Oro. Ang sabi ko, Mayor, the way I analyze the decision of the President, it is immediately executory. There is no provision there that says that it should be implemented by the DILG. So we follow. Sabi ko, under Section 46B of the Local Government Code, it says that if the temporary incapacity is removed, the suspended officials can assume office by only submitting to the Sangguniang Bayan a document showing that they have no more impediment to assume office. But since there is a legal cause when you were suspended because of that suspension as a penalty, then you write a sworn declaration. So I prepared that and then we reported on May 29, 2023, 8 o'clock in the morning. Sad to say, on the May 30, nakareceive na po sila ng preventive suspension order emanating from the betrayal of public trust. On its face, yes, we agree that there is presumption of regularity of public officer in the issuance of those kind of order. But if we look at the circumstances behind, there is abuse of authority. There is denial of due process. Why? We were not given the opportunity to react on the written manifestation. More so, to emphasize, no? Kailan na-receive ng sanggunian yung written manifestation ng private complainant? September 29 ng, May 29 ng gabi. Kailan nila pinadala sa amin through email? May 29 nung gabi. Na-receive namin 9:59 in the evening. So, sinasabi na regular, yes, the LG is correct, regularity. But unfortunately, behind it, there is a very irregular issuance. Okay.
Resolution was dated May 29.
Okay. Okay. So, balikan na natin yung ano. So, hindi pa uminit yung puwit ng mga mayor, vice mayor.
Wrap up tayo kay, because they want to react.
Yes, I will wrap up. No?
Yeah.
Suspended sila from October 5 to December. Suspended sila from October 5.
Excuse me, Judge. Senator Pimentel is asking the chair if pwede you can submit to us, to this committee, your position paper, yung mga sinasabi.
Yes.
Ha?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please continue. Wrap up na
Okay.
tayo. Wrap up.
Okay.
Kaya mag-react.
Okay.
Gusto lang mag-react.
So ngayon, i-wrap up natin. Number one is that diferensya yung preventive suspension at suspension sa penalty. Attorney Pimentel knew it, no? Sorry sir, Senator Pimentel knew it. Okay.
Ako rin, alam ko rin yan.
Oh. Okay, yes, okay.
Preventive suspension lang eh.
So,
grabe ka naman.
So,
siya lang may alam, ako hindi ko alam. Kaya ako lawyer.
sorry.
Karaang pulis ko.
Okay,
So,
sorry,
ko na.
Okay.
Sige,
So,
padayon.
preventive suspension 60 days, October 5 to December 4 supposedly. December 3 lumabas ang decision, 6 months penalty should expire on June 5, 2023. Okay? Nung umupo sila sa May 29, nag-issue ng preventive suspension order for 60 days. Beginning May 30. Ngayon, ang suspension, preventive suspension will end on July 29. Lumabas ang decision nila imposing a period of suspension 6 months, July 24. Na-receive namin July 28. Ngayon, yung lumabas yung preventive suspension order in the third administrative complaint, of course, the usual reaction of lawyers is to file a petition for certiorari with prohibition before the Court of Appeals, questioning the issuance of that preventive suspension order. Unfortunately, marami pang mga pinagawa sa Court of Appeals, hindi pa na-resolve. Ngayon naman, yung desisyon ng nila na na-receive namin July 28, we have until August 27 to file an appeal to the office of the President because we have to exhaust administrative remedies before we will go to the regular courts. Okay. But the main point is this. Yung mga nakikinig sa television, since October 5 and maybe until January 2023, hindi sila nakaupo. Hindi sila nakaupo. Diniprive yung people of Bonifacio ng services nila. Between October 5 and January. From October 5, 2022 to January 2023. Isang bisis lang sila nakaupo. That was on May 29, pero sinipa din sila. May 30. Sinipa sila.
Okay, so
Okay, na yun. Alam ko na we cannot determine here in the committee sinong guilty, mayroong conspiracy, but it's up to the people who are viewing this. Which I was informed that yesterday around 500,000 viewed it. So anong masabi ninyo? Okay. Lastly, meron akong sir. Can I say something? Because I know that this is in late of legislation. Okay. Nang marinig ko yung sinasabi ni Attorney Alday na the ILG itself declared that it was an ultra-virus act to suspend them during the protective period. The problem is that the decision of the ILG, walang ngipin yan. Note it. That's a passive opinion. So that if we have a law, that the ILG then will enforce their opinion to the disciplinary authority na, automatic suspend kasi ultra-virus yung act ninyo. Yun. Saka isa pa. Pansin ko, kuyog system ito eh. SP belongs to the governor tama niya yung mga sanggunian. No justice there. Since the good senator from Cagayan de Oro directed us to issue a position paper, we will prove there that there is really non-observance of due process. Imagine, if it is favorable to the other side, liberal construction. If it is favorable to side, strictly construction. Kangaroo court. I'm sorry that I am little because I have been 22 years in the judiciary. Hindi ko ginagawa yan. I give everybody due process. That's all, sir.
thank you, Governor. Huwag kayo pumalakpak. Bawal palakpakan dito. Huwag kayo pumalakpak. Babalik lang ako Gov, Judge. Pwede mo masagot yung tanong ko kanina?
Yes.
Sinagot na ni Governor Sinagot ni Governor. I want to hear from your side also. Tatanong ko ba?
Okay.
Yung about dalawang suspension order, tapos yung pangatlo, hindi ba magiging mutan academic yun dahil nga related doon sa dalawa?
Supposedly, sir.
Ha?
Supposedly. Pero alam mo, discretion nila.
Kaya, I just want to hear your side.
Yes.
Narinig ko ng side ni
Kasi
Governor.
kung ano yon, sabihin natin na yung two administrative complaint are the roots. Di ba?
Yeah.
So to speak. At saka yung third administrative complaint is the tree. If you remove the roots, then the tree will fall down.
Thank you for that. Thank you.